Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sangat Ji, we all must have had this question within our mind to say, what is life? And a good place to find out what life is to go to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padsha. How do we go to Guru Nanak Dev Ji? We go to our Bani, because Bani is Guru. And that Bani says to us that Hum Admi haan ekdami maholat maut na jana. What is Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padsha saying here? They're telling us what life is. They're telling us what life is through explaining to us what a human being is. So when they say hum means us. So referring to all of us, saying hum admi. Admi means human being. But within the word itself, it actually explains who a human being is. It's saying that meaning coming, dam meaning breath, e meaning in. So it translates to that a human being is that person, that being who has breath in their body. And if that breath doesn't return, if they have no breath left in their body, then Maharaji say that Niksya Fook Ta Hoye Gyo Swaha. And they're saying that if that breath leaves this body and does not return, then they say then we are what? Swaha. We're not called a human being anymore. We're just a pile of ash. Guru Sache Padsha Ji is saying that. So now let's complete that pankti. Hum Admi haan ekdami. And they're saying so that we are just ekdami, one breath. So that's how Guru Sahib Ji sum up what life is. They're saying life is a breath, just one breath. So then that makes us think, do we miss out on life? Are we missing out on life? How? How could we be missing out on life? Because some of us are thinking now, listening to that, no, I'm not missing out on life. Is it even possible to miss out life? I'm living life. If I'm breathing, I'm living life. But no. Living life means being present to that breath and being in the moment. And we hear these words all the time, but we're going to try and understand that a little bit more today. So let's use some examples. How can we be missing out life is when we're dwelling on the past. But more so dwelling on the past in which way? On what type of past? That past that we can't do anything about. That past that we cannot change. That past that we are going round and round in circles in, that cannot do anything for our life now. So let's take an example. We may have had a car accident and we keep thinking, oh, I should not have gone down that particular road. But we all know the truth. We know the truth that by saying I should not have is not going to change the fact that I did. So when we say it back to ourselves in this way, it sounds really silly, but how many times do we do that? We do that to so many things, so many incidents in life. We're doing it constantly, again and again. It might be something a lot more serious. It could be even a situation where somebody's passed away and died within that car accident. Or it could be something just very light, just a quick little bump, but you're so attached to your car, you just can't get over, can't believe that I've got a scratch on my car. But the truth of the matter is, no matter how many times we think about that I should not have gone down that street, that bend is so sharp, and if I knew that it was so sharp, then I would have been a lot slower. But the truth is, we can't do anything about it now. But how can that be turned into a positive? Because that dwelling is negative when we're saying I should have. Why did it happen like that? It should not have happened. I should not have gone down that. That is all negative, because that cannot be changed, because that is reality. And what we've got to start living in is in Satya. Satya is the truth. So the truth is it can't be changed. But let's turn that into a positive now. So we can turn that into now, let's take the concept from Guru Sahib Ji and saying Dukh Daru. Dukh means pain. So let's take that incident to be pain. Dukh, some sort of, we perceive that to be something's gone wrong. But what dukh really means is Guru Sahib just saying contemplate a situation of how you can improve it for the next time and be more aware and be more conscious. So it's simple. So I know now that that road has got a sharp bend. So now I'm conscious about it because I experienced actually having an accident there. So now I can just learn from that in a positive way. And the other thing is, there's two things we need to do here. And I use the word need, and I say in a positive way. When I use the word need, I mean that it can help us to take away our pain. So dukh, daru, let's turn it into medicine. Turning it into medicine means that we've learned from that situation of how that happened and how it maybe next time it could be avoided and what I could do different next time. So I learned from it, become positive from it. So now when I go down that same road again, I'm going to be so much more cautious of when I go around that particular bend. So that can be our daru, but that can be done, Sangat Ji, within like 30 seconds. It's a quick thought. What can I learn from that situation? And we move on. And the other thing is that we accept whatever has happened sweetly. If we're able to practice in doing that and getting to that level, we'll start to live a pain-free life. Another way that we're missing out on life, Sangat Ji, is when we worry about the future. And let's just take one example what we could be worrying about. We could be worried about our health. We could be worried about getting ill, getting a particular type of disease. And now that's quite odd because it's a vicious circle. Being worried, which is the now, what we're doing in the now, which is our life. So how are we deciding to spend that precious breath, which is called life, that precious life, where Guru Sahib Ji even say that Heere jaisa janam hai, kaudi badle jaye. Hira is a diamond. They're saying Heere jaisa janam hai. They said this life is like a diamond, meaning it's so precious. Saying kaudi badle jaye, we can end up selling it for just mere shells. Worrying is actually selling that life of mere shells. And I'm not saying I'm above that, I'm in it as well. So when I'm making this video, I'm listening to my own words to say, wake up, wake up, wake up. What are you doing with this precious breath, which is actual life? So then think about it now. What's our life? Worrying. Worrying can increase our heart rate. Our heart rate is increased. What can happen? Many other diseases. Another thing, when we're worried about the future, we're constantly worrying about the outcome. Ki hoga, kidda hoga, je mainu idda ho gaya, mere aa bimari ho gayi. But we're worrying now. What can that do? It can make our breathing very shallow as well. And when we breathe and when our breath becomes shallow, again, it has such an impact on our organs, has such an impact on our lungs, in the way things function within our body. So again, we're actually deteriorating our health, which we might be healthy now, but we're just worried, say, if that happens. Or there's a little something wrong with us now, and then we think, but say if this develops into that. But that very worry itself, that vicious circle, is actually causing our future to decline, our future to be negative. That's why Guru Sahib Ji say that, they say, Manda mool na kichai de lammi nadar ni khali. Guru Sahib Ji saying, have a far vision. But this is now the positive side of looking into the future. Guru Sahib Ji saying, make your present positive. Don't waste this breath by worrying, because you're actually destroying your future. They're saying, but now think about your present action, that if I'm now conscious and now I'm aware, now I've got the wisdom of what worry does to me. Kabir Ji saying, when we've got the wisdom, Kabir, jaha gyan, taha dharam hai. They're saying, where we've got the wisdom, then we've got the dharam, meaning then we've got the way of life. Now I've got the wisdom of what worry does. Now I can sambal, now I can take care of this breath. Just like Bhagat Farid Ji say, they say, Farida, je jana til thorade ta sammal book pari. Saying je jana til. Til means a sesame seed. A sesame seed here referring to our breath. They're saying, if I knew that my sesame seeds, my breath were limited, Je jana til thorade, they say, then what? The samman book pari, then I would have been so careful with the way I place my hands so those sesame seeds don't slip through. Then I would have been so careful with each and every breath how I spend it. Then I won't spend it in worry, because now I know that's actually missing life. That's actually destroying my future. Guru Sahib is saying, Manda mulna kiche. Don't ever do such a thing. Manda, something bad. And worrying is something negative. So, mulna kiche, don't ever do it. They lammi nadar nihal liye, they said, look far ahead. And you're probably thinking, well, that's easy to say. How do we not do it? Just knowing that we're actually destroying our future and we're missing life, that can help us to get out of worry. That is the answer within itself of becoming conscious. So another thing is stress of exams. We get stressed out because we want to do well in our exams. And what ends up happening? Then we're stressed, we're worried about the outcome, about what will the results be, what am I going to get in my exam, I want this, I need this, if I don't get that, then I won't be able to do that, I won't be able to go there. So there's all of this going on within the mind. And so even one of our own colleagues, he went through this, he was stressed, and with that stress he started to lose his hair. And when he started to lose his hair, he was thinking, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. So he started to worry about losing his hair. So what's happening now? It's that vicious circle of worry again. So then he loses more hair, and then you're just going round and round in circles. But eventually exams are over, stress levels are down, not worrying about the outcome of something, because now whatever it is, it's happened. So the hair stops, he stops to lose his hair. It was been caused by that anyway. One thing, we've all got to try and train our minds to say such things to ourselves, to say at the present moment, whatever it is, is being as real as possible with ourselves. Guru Sahib is saying that obviously we live within this world which is run by having hopes, but they're saying that rehe ekant eko man vasya, ise asa mahe niraso. In the midst of having these hopes are just energies that allow us to do well, to allow us to go forward. But those if we haven't even got that force that has been created by Akal Purkh, by Vaheguruji, by our creator, if he didn't create such a thing called hope, we may not have the drive to do well, to do something. We may not have any energy to do anything in life. So it's an essential part of life. But Guru Sahib is saying that how are you going to be successful in life? They say only if in the midst of that hope, rehe ekant, if you remain calm and silent. Eko man vasya, that you have complete and utter faith in that one. That I have faith in your will, that how much ever effort I end up putting into this exam, how much ever you have blessed me, intelligence you have blessed me with, that will be the outcome. And asa mahe niraso, that I'm not attached to the outcome, but I accept the outcome sweetly. And then again, I take that situation at that time, I look at it with a clear vision. And then what do I say to myself? Whatever it is. And then I look forward to what I can do with that situation now. Whether it be resit or whether it be going into something else. Whatever it is, if it wasn't what we expected, we deal with that situation, but accepting it sweetly. Because what happens is our vision becomes so blurred when we're thinking past, we're thinking future, we're not focusing on now. Instead, all that worry that we're trying to make things work out for ourselves, because we're missing out on the now, because we're so worried, we start actually making mistakes, we start making a mess. And we all know that. Just when we're not present to something, we could be sitting on our desk at work, and because we're not focused, we're drinking a cup of tea on our desk. Because our dhyan, our focus isn't present to that tea, we're putting it down, we're doing thinking so many other things, and what do? End up knocking that tea, and then it goes all over our computer, makes a mess, and creates so much nuisance, just because we wasn't living. just because we wasn't present in that moment, in that breath. It's very practical. Just take a moment out today. Just take a moment out and reflect on when we're not present, on how many things that actually where we actually start making a mess because we're not focused. That could be whilst we're driving, that could be whilst we're trying to prepare for our exams. We're so worried that we're not able to sambal and take care of that moment, that precious breath. Like Bhagavad Gita said, and we just went through, that I'm going to be so careful with that breath. I'm able to focus now because life is now. So Sangat Ji, I know what we're speaking of is easier said than done, and I'm in it as well. I'm with everyone that's watching this. I've not conquered my mind, but let's collectively as a Sangat, let's be positive and think positive and move forward positively as well. There's many things that we may have in our mind that we want to do righteous things in this life. We want to serve in a certain way. But Sangaji, we need to get out of that mentality of thinking, I want to do this in the future and serve in the future. But life is now, serve now. Serve with each breath. How could we be serving with each breath? Just that person that sits next to us at work, speaking with compassion with every breath, is serving our Creator, is being present. Being mindful of every moment of how we conduct ourselves, our speech, our actions. We are then serving, acting out of compassion. It doesn't matter, whether it be then feeding the homeless, whether it be just the way we speak to someone within our work area, at school, at college. Then if we speak from a place of silk, Maharaji calls it silk, jin pat andar, pat means a soft, true place. Out of that pure intention, we speak our words, then we are serving. Then we might say, I'm in a terrible job, I hate what I'm doing, and I'm just wasting my life. It doesn't mean that we're wasting our life. We're wasting our life if we're not conscious to our breath and we're not being aware of how we're speaking and what our intention is. It doesn't actually matter where we are in life. It depends what we're doing with that breath in that moment. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.